Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever felt misunderstood, or had a conversation where it seemed like the other person wasn't really listening to you, today's video is for you. In our fast-paced, tech-driven world, we're constantly talking but rarely listening. So, how do we actually connect with others in a meaningful way? In today's video, we're diving into Kate Murphy's You're Not Listening, where she explores how our inability to truly listen is affecting our relationships and our society as a whole. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about why listening might just be the most important skill you didn't know you needed. In You're Not Listening, What You're Missing and Why It Matters, Kate Murphy dives deep into the often overlooked art of listening, a skill she argues is more crucial than ever in today's world of distractions, technology, and superficial conversations. Murphy, a seasoned journalist, uses her expertise to explore why people struggle with listening and how this disconnect is hurting both personal relationships and societal discourse. She tackles the complex reasons behind why we don't listen well, offering not only a diagnostic of our listening failures but also practical solutions to improve our interactions with others. Through interviews, research, and real-life examples, she uncovers the reasons why listening is so vital and why, when we fail to do it, it leads to misunderstandings, missed opportunities, and, ultimately, alienation. From the very beginning, Murphy sets the tone by explaining how society is rapidly losing the ability to engage in meaningful conversations. With the constant buzz of digital devices and the pressure to multitask, she highlights how many people have become more interested in speaking than actually listening. Whether it's interrupting others, waiting for your turn to talk, or getting distracted by your phone, Murphy demonstrates how these behaviors erode the quality of communication in our relationships. The book also touches on the wider implications for society, as poor listening leads to a lack of empathy and deeper divisions between individuals and groups. She argues that we are so caught up in our own thoughts and the speed of modern life that we've forgotten how to truly hear each other. A central theme throughout You're Not Listening is the idea that listening is not just about hearing words, it's about understanding meaning, recognizing emotional cues, and giving the speaker the space to be heard. Murphy delves into the difference between passive hearing and active listening, noting that many people think they are listening when they're really just waiting for their turn to speak. This kind of passive listening prevents true engagement and stifles meaningful dialogue. She compares this phenomenon to fake listening, a situation where someone might nod along or make brief eye contact but is actually mentally checked out, thinking about their own responses or distractions instead of paying attention to the person talking. Murphy emphasizes that true listening involves being present, withholding judgment, and focusing on the other person's words, tone, and body language. Murphy also examines how our cultural obsession with talking over listening affects the quality of relationships, both personal and professional. She argues that people, especially in the workplace, often rush to assert their opinions or solutions before fully understanding the problem. This is especially detrimental in fields like counseling, teaching, and healthcare, where effective listening is crucial to understanding needs and providing appropriate responses. In these settings, poor listening can lead to miscommunication, frustration, and even harm. The book presents research showing how people often fail to listen deeply because they think they already know what the other person is going to say, or they assume they're too busy to take the time to listen properly. Murphy stresses that this kind of rushed communication leads to shallow relationships and missed opportunities for growth, collaboration, and understanding. One of the most compelling aspects of You're Not Listening is Murphy's exploration of how listening can be a tool for building empathy and connection. She highlights how listening attentively can break down barriers and foster an environment where people feel seen, understood, and valued. By engaging deeply with others, we create space for vulnerability and trust, which are essential for meaningful relationships. Murphy shares powerful anecdotes that demonstrate how a simple act of listening can transform interactions, whether it's a manager listening to an employee's concerns or a friend offering a non-judgmental ear during a tough time. In these moments, listening becomes not just a tool for communication, but a form of emotional support and connection that enhances both the speaker's and the listener's sense of belonging and value. Throughout the book, Murphy draws on interviews with psychologists, communication experts, and everyday people to illustrate how listening is a skill that can be developed with intention and practice. She provides concrete tips for improving listening skills, such as maintaining eye contact, asking open-ended questions, and resisting the urge to offer unsolicited advice. Another important piece of advice she gives is to eliminate distractions when listening to others. This includes not only putting away your phone but also mentally checking in and being present in the moment. Murphy also emphasizes that listening is an active process that requires energy and focus, and it's often a skill that's taken for granted or overlooked. She argues that being a good listener is not just about being polite, it's about valuing the other person's perspective and genuinely seeking to understand their experience. In addition to the practical advice, Murphy examines the barriers to effective listening, including societal norms and individual biases. She points out that people often listen through the lens of their own experiences and biases, which can color their interpretation of what others are saying. For example, a listener may dismiss someone's viewpoint because it contradicts their own beliefs, or they may feel defensive and tune out information that challenges their worldview. Murphy suggests that effective listening requires a level of humility, where we recognize that we don't know everything and that others may have valuable insights to offer, even if they come from a different background or perspective. She also discusses how listening can be a tool for overcoming prejudice and creating more inclusive, open-minded communities. Another key element of the book is Murphy's examination of how technology has both helped and hindered our ability to listen. While digital communication allows for quick exchanges and global connectivity, it has also contributed to a culture of shallow, fragmented conversations. Social media, in particular, encourages people to engage in debates and arguments rather than reflective, thoughtful discussions. Murphy also addresses how technology has led to a decrease in face-to-face interactions, which are critical for building deep, empathetic connections. However, she also acknowledges that technology can be used to foster better listening, particularly through platforms that facilitate online therapy, educational content, and remote work communication. She encourages people to use technology intentionally, as a tool for connecting, rather than as a crutch for avoiding real, meaningful conversation. One of the most thought-provoking chapters in You're Not Listening focuses on how listening can be a form of self-care. By listening to others with empathy and attention, we not only support the speaker, but we also create a space for our own emotional well-being. Murphy highlights the therapeutic power of being truly heard, not just by professionals, but by friends, family, and colleagues. When someone listens to us attentively, it can create a sense of validation and relief, which in turn promotes our mental health. Murphy suggests that by practicing good listening, we can improve our emotional intelligence and create more harmonious, supportive environments for ourselves and others. In the final sections of the book, Murphy discusses how listening is a vital skill for resolving conflict. In a world that often emphasizes debate and winning arguments, listening provides a way to engage in conflict resolution that doesn't rely on force or coercion. By listening to the perspectives of others, even when we disagree, we create opportunities for mutual understanding and compromise. Murphy argues that listening is a powerful tool for bridging divides, whether in politics, family dynamics, or workplace disagreements. She stresses that listening isn't just about being quiet, it's about giving others the chance to speak their truth and finding common ground. In conclusion, You're Not Listening is a profound exploration of one of the most underappreciated skills in modern life. Through research, interviews, and real-world examples, Kate Murphy demonstrates that listening is not just a passive activity but an active and powerful tool for connection, empathy, and personal growth. The book urges readers to recognize the value of listening in all aspects of life and offers actionable advice for improving our ability to truly hear and understand others. In a world where communication is often rushed, superficial, and distracted, You're Not Listening serves as a reminder that the key to meaningful relationships lies in the simple, yet profound act of being present and genuinely listening.